You are now tuned in to the Spicy Ramen Podcast Show.
Welcome, everybody. What's going on? Oh, we already jumping up. Hey, everyone. Hey. As you see, we have Shaq with me.
What up?
And JP, of course.
What up?
And as we always started off, JP, what's been up? How was your weekend? What's been going on?
Good weekend. Celebrated my 7th anniversary with Ella.
Yes, baby, yes.
Hear the cues and the claps and the celebration. All y'all other sad, lonely niggas will never be like me. Can't be. It's like, nah, let me stop. But yeah, pretty much just that. Did some house projects and a little bit, kind of. Got the office set up. Eventually, you'll see some stuff behind there on the wall and all that. Got a few posters that I'm gonna put up. But yeah, just same old training. I have a fight set. Can't say the date just yet, but I finally have a fight. But I'm still looking for one July 16th.
Now, is it an actual fight, or is it one of those where they say they're gonna fight you and then like?
I mean, you never really know until that happens. But at least I have something like on the horizons, but looking for something coming up a little sooner. As you know, me talking shit to people don't really work because they just be ignoring me. They just like, hey, look, if I don't look at this nigga or make eye contact, he will leave me alone. Like y'all see it. I personally tag people on social media and then retag them when they don't say anything. I'm like, damn. It's like, yeah. I know you saw it.
You see me. You see it.
You see me, man.
It's like that one gif, whatever, the dude is like in that spinny circle chair or whatever. He's trying not to look at the girl, just keeps on turning, keeps on turning. It's like, I be tripping. Like, I'm literally sitting there. I'm like, bro, I'm about to start talking like some big shit. Like, some stuff that you gotta swing on me for. Like, you can't let me say this and you don't hit me or something. It's like, come on, man. But
see, I'm gonna have to bring this back up in the podcast. But how about you, Shaq? What's been up?
So, been pretty eventful.
What? My teeth fell out. Hold on, let me grab.
I fucking hate you.
Yeah, so you. Yeah, we're gonna teeth back. My teeth back. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we had a pretty productive and festive Juneteenth weekend. Heading over to Philly, hanging out with the fam from Head Nurse in Charge with their first ever Head Nurse in Charge con, brought to you by Head Nurse in Charge. It was really awesome. They started off that Friday night with a comedy show featuring hosted by our boy Skip from Blurred Over, and the real life Peter Griffin was there as well. Awesome time. Philly is a very interesting place. I have my comments about that later. But yeah, I had an awesome time in Juneteenth weekend. I know a couple of things went down that weekend. I was really fun, really awesome. Definitely a big shout out to the entire staff at HNIC. They did their motherfucking thing. People asked for it and they delivered in spades. So looking forward to more stuff from them, and hopefully they can do it again next year. So
yes. And of course, I'm gonna follow up with my stuff. It was actually kind of quick because all I've been doing lately is watching Comey Can't Communicate. That show is one of those things where it's like you want to turn away, but you can't because you feel like you're gonna miss something. It's like, no, I can finish this. No, let me. That's literally all it's been. So I've been diving in. I'm on episode, I think 13. I want to say we got a few more. I'm trying to wait for the dub to come out Yes, I watched dub for that. They actually are good.
It's okay. It's okay to watch dub.
It's okay to watch dub.
I've turned a new leaf. I'll wait till we get through the introduction and introducing our guest before I say it. But
Yeah,
I mean, I've been saying this for like the past 2 years. But continue.
You
Sir.
have.
Continue.
But I will get into all of the next part of what I'm talking about with I finally dive back into the anime side of One Piece with Dub 2. But Shaq, introduce our main guest for today.
So, our guest for the night, close friend of the show, really awesome guy. I've been hanging out with him in almost every convention I've been to. This dude is dope. His content is dope. They provide anime and video game and geek content that brought to you for highly quality entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, coming from ATL, my brother, like no other from another mother, Devious Sama, CEO and founder of Urban Sama in the motherfucking building. Let's go.
Appreciate y'all having me. It's a great honor because I heard things get real raunchy in here, so I feel like I have to prepare myself to embody the energy that we have tonight. So
Hey.
I'm very excited. Very excited.
Everybody out here got a cup and shit, and I'm out here drinking water out of a protein.
You know what
Well,
I'm
see,
saying?
you got savagery to do, so we understand.
You got stuff going on.
Oh,
we worry about it later.
Actually, while we're at it, there's a few comments that came in through Twitch. Hey, Empress. Hey.
Oh, hey, Empress, what's going on?
What's happening?
What's
She
up,
hit us with the
Tinker?
greeting kings for those who are listening. And then, okay, Tank, what up?
Tank Bird.
So, going back to what our episode is about. Our episode today is called "A Bowl of Mental Health." Shaq, you want to give off the explanation?
So, ladies and gentlemen, the month of June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And with a lot of crazy stories, plot lines, and plot holes, and character development that happens in anime and in manga, we decided today's episode is going to be a mental health episode, talking about the different situations and various characters that have gone through some very crazy mental shit, while also providing you some small information about how you can help yourself or help others in mental health awareness. Not just for men, but for everybody else around us for equality.
Mm-hmm.
Cause shit be crazy out here, y'all.
So, with tying into anime and especially with a lot of the characters that we have, JP, do you think from a mental health or mental breaking standpoint was like one of the most detailed or dived in for an anime?
You see, there's like a few, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of anime touch on mental health because a lot of that shit is violent and talks about real world issues in an entertaining way, but they also like typically will show like the effects, but they don't really like fully talk about it, but you see it. Like even as simple, One Piece has a good amount, but I'll get away from some of the shonen ones and I'll go a show that has some good mental health like touches on that is Terror in Resonance.
Yeah.
That one goes and touches on it pretty good. Oh, actually, you know what? Tokyo or Magnitude 8.0 or something like that. It was the effects of a big earthquake in Tokyo, and a girl is traveling trying to find her mother with her little brother, and they go deep into it. It hits you hard. I even say Erased has a good amount. Like all anime actually touches on it, but I wanted to kind of shy away from the big ones because we always talking about shonen shit. It's like we got other types of anime, but yeah, those are good ones. I don't know if it was supposed to be my turn, like from one of the most traumatic ones, or just anime that I thought that touched on it pretty good.
No, I think
either
that's
anime
a
or like
good.
a character.
Yeah, I think a character or how you did it, where different shows, where every episode is a real dive in of mental health. For Tokyo Japan Sinks, when it's her and her brother, and she's trying to go through that process, and
Mm.
it's literally just a YouTube star that decides to want to join them in their
Oh
journey,
yeah.
and he is like, which you can see inside of his YouTube channel. You can, well, again, this is an anime, but you can see how blinding confidence allows him to get through. And it's really one of those things where no, it's not so much that I'm great, it's so much that I believe that I am great. And also in having that mental validation, like, yo, it's some of the worst things I've ever done in my life to try to succeed in just living, but I'm gonna survive, and I'm gonna do it while streaming and being flashy. Like,
Yeah. That's.
it's
Oh,
crazy.
this is the anime that I wanted to. One of the ones that I at least wanted to bring up,
Hmm.
and I'll just share the screen real quick. Is this anime called Monster?
Oh man,
That's
man.
I
Oh,
haven't even seen
Yeah.
it yet, but I
yeah.
already know.
Oh
Yeah, that
man.
that one
Yeah.
is.
I suggest anybody to watch that anime, and it's completely different. Like, don't watch that if you're not ready for like. It's not super action packed. It's all just like psychological thriller, and you have to listen. Like, you know how like sometimes you put on anime and you watch and you reading something on your phone, and but you can
Hmm.
still understand what's going on. It's like this ain't one of them. It's like you have to pay attention for 74 episodes,
Mm.
and that shit is crazy.
And I think those be the best at pulling a person in and never letting go. Like one of
Mm-hmm.
those where it's so suspenseful, or it's so deep into the emotion that it's like, oh, yeah, no, I can't stop. Yeah, no, I gotta finish this. I think what for one of them that was really good at doing this for me, and again, I don't know so much about the second season, but definitely the first season was the animal one, Beastars.
Beastars? I,
Beastars.
I knew you were about to
Yes.
bring that up.
Yes. Man, that first season was just, it's such a mind blank because of how much you have to remember, like, no, this is animal instincts.
Yeah,
No, no, this is not like
this
a
ain't people.
typical. No, fam, they're not doing anything wrong. No, no, you're supposed to
Yeah.
want to eat. Like, what are we talking about here?
This is you fighting your instincts trying to integrate with society type shit. Like,
Exactly,
how,
man.
how
Like,
can you judge a wolf for being a wolf?
Yeah, that's true.
and that's
It's like, and
exactly
it's
what that
bringing it to a
was.
humanistic standpoint where it's like we naturally were seeing like the human in them, even though it's like y'all some fucking animals. But it's like you ain't wrong.
Yeah.
Like even in that, I found it beautiful because it's like they're comparing kind of like human traits to animal instincts.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of like, yo, all right, like you said, this is from a human standpoint, this is fucked up. But from just like looking at it, this is how nature actually operates. So it's just like,
And it's crazy because it's really just like, uh so you have this wolf and rabbit who have to try to share a connection without it being just, yo, I'm gonna kill this person.
And then seeing
Like,
them fight the urge too.
yeah, like, and then yeah, again, I don't want to give the details of the show. Definitely would check it out, B Stars, if you ever get a chance. But it's one of those things where it's like, that is huge. How about you, Didi? Is there a character that you think is like, yo, if I wanted to pull in like a mind or a mental person who really has to go through mental health issues during the show, like, who do you think would be like a number one for that?
number one for me was I had to go with Evangelion, like all the pilots in
Mm.
Evangelion, because like yeah. So like for me, And it's kind of like what y'all are touching on in the beginning. It's like when it comes to mental health in anime, it's very prevalent, but it's not like spelled ABC out to everybody. And I think that's a big reason why we fuck with it in general, because it's like it touches on these feelings that we are having and puts it like an art to it. So like Evangelion, you literally have children who are not trying to be about this shit, who have no choice but to be about this shit, who are dealing with their father not really being present, but now you the next hope. So now your father has a vested interest in you.
Yep.
Like I think he had like a what was it like disassociative
disorder. Yeah.
Yeah, where he was just like, hey, if there's conflict and discomfort, I want to be away from that. But he doesn't get the option to get away from it. So you see him suffering the whole time. And for some people, I think it's irritating because it's so human. It's like, this is real feeling. This isn't someone who's like, oh, I'm up against the world being destroyed. I'm going to be the champion for the people. Like, I'm trying to figure out why my dad don't love me. Y'all got me jumping in this spec suit, fucking niggas up, and I'm just like, I'm not a killer, B. I'm not a killer.
I think another good example of that, and this is for my turn, I would say a huge person of like fragile narcissism that really had to stand in that, especially as far as mental health goes, was Lelouch. Like, I think Lelouch, it was like one of those people where he had to have extreme bipolarism, like complete like personality change. And then on top of it, he had to be able to control all of those emotions while trying to maintain conversations with everyone by personality. Like, that is crazy.
You brought up a good point, and I wanna prompt this conversation if you don't mind. But commonly, I see Lelouch compared with Light. And my stance is that Lelouch is a Light with conscious and feeling. So he's not necessarily like all this. He understands it's a means to an end, but he also recognizes like, hey, these are people that are dying. These are people that are swearing their allegiance to me that I am therefore sending to their deaths in some situations in order to like meet a goal that's very important. But I'm not like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest difference is one person was trying to preserve life by any means necessary, and the other did not care about life whatsoever. They just wanted their absolute control and absolute perfection of society. They did not care about how they got there. If whoever had to get put down got put down. Whereas with Lelouch, it was like, yo, like, how many lives can I save while still doing the overall objective?
Yeah.
And that's the hugest difference.
Like that turning point when he was with, well, I don't know, Code Geass has been out a minute, so how do y'all operate? I guess it's like as far as like spoilers and stuff.
I mean, if it's been more than 5 years, like,
yeah, like I haven't watched Evangelion or whatever, but that's my problem. Like, that's my fault. I'm still gonna enjoy the show when I start it.
Okay, because I'm like, you know, when he had to deal with his like sibling, like you saw how Lelouch responded to, I guess, like maybe his father, but not Lelouch, Light responded to his father, but Lelouch, he was like, yo, I really hate this has to be you right now.
Yep.
There is no other possible way I can accomplish this goal without doing this heinous act I have to do right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things when and we got comments. Let me jump on these comments.
I got them.
Oh, okay.
So we got one from YouTube. I really hate when people rack Luna, loyal listener, follower, watcher. I hate when people rag on Shinji. They forget he's a 14-year-old boy.
Thank you. Thank you. Because people, like, I ain't gonna lie, this is kind of like a hard point I have, I guess, for like anime fans. It's like not taking into context who is going through this experience and how you would have probably digested that experience at the same age, or how you should in some cases.
Yeah.
The same thing with Senji is the same thing with what's my boy Takamichi out Tokyo Revengers. niggas hate him, but he is a real person responding to this life-changing event.
They weren't that hard body when they were young. They weren't like that. All the
Right.
niggas you remember in school, they was crying over dumb shit. It's like everybody was a kid at one point and was way more sensitive or whatever it was. It's like even if you weren't a sensitive kid, almost everyone has cried over some dumb shit. And it's like they want all their 14-year-old, 15-year-old main characters and shonens to be these hard-bodied killers. And not everybody like that. Even Killua, a trained assassin. But we done seen him murk niggas real quick. But he has feelings too.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like even Gon is crazy though. But that's another story.
We got another comment from Noah. What about Mushoku Tensei?
I don't even
Jabba's-
pronounce that first part. I just say Jabba's reincarnation.
I was about to say, I was like, hey, y'all can leave the pronunciations of the names to me. I got y'all. My dude sounded like he was about to say Mushu pork. I was like,
We ordering off a menu right now.
right?
Hey man, it looked like mushrooms to me. All right, it looked like.
This nigga thought he was on mute. He was saying something. Hey, Mushu pork.
I feel like there are a lot of times in the show I'm questioning the mental state of the main character. That is the purpose of the show. No,
Yes.
like you are right on point. You have someone who has zero, and I mean zero, self-confidence or any type
Zero
of
social
self-affirmation. Yeah, zero social skills. Trying to be a lord almost of and a leader, like having the virtuous personality that he never had growing up. It is a complete opposite of who he is as a person.
Yeah.
But he's playing a role, so it's working in his favor.
Yeah, it's I like compare it to kind of like when people like to a situation where it's like someone lived their life an unfulfilling way, and now
Mhm.
they're trying to like this Joker done died, so he's like trying to reclaim all those things, those shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And
Yep.
he's unfortunately he has the status and the abilities to act on some of the less than desirable like things he's wanted.
But that's also, to me, that's also the unfortunate human side that they want to portray too. That no, like he grew up in an era where this was fantasized. Like the main focus, especially his age, where he disconnected from society, was like 16, 15.
Yeah.
He disconnected in a place where that was all they talked about. And to imagine being in that conversation for 20 years in your room, like that's all you think. So when he comes back and he has a chance to fulfill some of those things he never could have, I see the reason for the need.
Yeah.
It's grotesque. It's horrible in my opinion, but I also understand like, oh no, like in his head he's still that person that got hung up on a locker or hung up on the fence.
Yeah.
Like
Swirly. My bad.
yeah, that person never left. So any chance he gets to show dominance or a form of power, now he feels like he has to.
It's like the victim getting the abilities or the power of a bully.
That's what
Exactly.
happens to some of these cops.
This is what's gonna happen because he's like, shoot, I grew up in a fucked up world, so what I'm doing is a lesser evil, although it's still evil.
Right.
And he
It tripped
doesn't
me
even
out watching.
feel like it's evil. He feels like he's doing a favor, like he's doing a blessing.
Like this
Which-
is bad, but it could be worse.
I'm not killing nobody.
Point. Yeah, like I think that's the point. Like for a lot of these things, especially when we start talking about people of race and how we are viewed, it's when we get in those moments where we have someone trying to have power over us, how that mental health of that person can affect us so negatively. And you see that in the anime is just in a different form. It's like I think there's a lot that, and this is probably why I watch so much, you get to see it from a superhero or from this hidden power that they have, but all of it is showing signs of where human weakness becomes someone's reality. And I think it's like, for example, Mob Psycho is a huge example of that. Like he, in his head, he doesn't want to harm, hurt, or do anything to mess anyone else up. But the moment he has real emotions, like all humans do,
Yep.
it can be godly consequences.
He is an emotional ticking time bomb, and he hates the fact that he is that.
Like,
It's a black man, low key. Imagine having to regulate yourself 24/7. And at any moment you slip up, it's a catastrophe waiting to happen.
Oh, listen, when keeping it real goes wrong. Get your motherfucking hands out my face, Dave. Shake my hand like a motherfucking man. This shit.
like there's, and I know, actually, and this is probably why me and my wife has been watching Comey Can't Communicate so much. Can't Communicate, and that's the title of it. But for Comey Can't Communicate, one of the biggest things that you see is how she's such an introverted person that even being so introverted, not knowing how to communicate with people, which is a huge mental blockage for a lot of people in this world. And y'all can put me in the comment section, let me know if y'all ever had those moments. But they have this internal monologue. The speaker is their internal monologue of, like, there's this point where she's looking terrified. She's looking like just almost ominous to someone else. Like she's staring at them with such a horrible look. The internal monologue was, she sees that her shoe is untied and she's nervous to want to tell her. And the person is like freaking out. And it's like, oh, wait. Like, so this is human interaction, right? Literally, that's human interaction.
See, that's the thing. Like, at first, when I was watching Kobe Can't Communicate, I was kind of like, all right, this is to the umpteenth degree of like excessive. But as I was watching it more, I was like, this really makes sense, because a lot of times, like, people who deal with social anxiety have a communication breakdown that appears to be something else to somebody on the receiving end. And you see, like, she's popular, but people are realizing, or she's like, they're misunderstanding what she's doing. They think she's better, but really she's like, yo, I don't know what to say right now. I'm gonna just slide out. Like, so I really fucked with it for that, because it does bring attention to kind of like what someone's thinking versus what someone might be interpreted.
And that's why I feel like there's, and JP, you can go on your next person in reference to this question, but to me, that's why I see how a Zoro can walk into a random place and find themselves fighting. Like, do you know, like, is there a person in your eyes, JP, that fits kind of that mold? Like, just due to lack of communication or their mental state, if they were to be placed in any situation, you have no idea what could happen.
I don't know what the hell just happened, because that was like the perfect setup. Like, you ain't ever done no shit like this before, giving me that perfect of a setup.
Because y'all cut me off every time. Y'all cut me off. That's why.
You acting different right now, and I like it.
It's like, hey, we need to have.
Anyway, continuing on.
We need to have Devious on the podcast way more often. Just because it's like Justin doing shit like this when he on, it's like, fuck it. But my character would actually be Thorfinn from Vinland Saga.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
I had him in the pocket.
I see it now. Yeah.
That's for my man. Hold on.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Talk your shit, big dog.
And
talk to these niggas.
I know we got to be a little bit calm on how we share things from like YouTube. So it's just gonna be a quick clip for the people that are listening only, this is from Vinland Saga. I'm just playing a little clip showing everyone who hasn't seen it what
How
it.
quick? Because YouTube is very sensitive.
I'm gonna
Gotta
say
be
like
10
5
10 or less.
seconds.
10 or less.
Shit.
10 or
10
less.
seconds. 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
10 seconds. Let's get it.
I'm gonna take
Boom.
it for a crazy mix.
Yeah, you gotta put your audio on too in order for
No,
us
don't worry
to-
about audio. Don't worry about audio.
Oh, all right.
Just know it's a lot of real shit going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at him taking drugs right there.
A lot of
we
it.
got drug taking live on screen.
My boy changed full anime went from fucking Vinland Saga to Berserk real quick.
Right?
Listen.
What's in that shroom, my boy?
Right? I was like, I ain't never heard it. And you know what? I looked it up.
Y'all already guessed my first pick.
This is real. Like the shit
Yeah.
is real. But anyway, we'll get on to some other shit. But back to Thorfinn, perfect example of someone who he was the boy in the video. There's a little boy crying. This kid was 6 years old, I think. Went out with his father to sea for something that should have been a little bit simple. Well, he thought it would be simple or cool. His dad knew it wasn't. And he's seen some shit. He's been on the battlefield with Vikings since he was a little boy. So now this kid is 15 or something years old. When they move during like the time skip, he's 15.
Mhm.
He's slaying countless people. Dude barely speaks. Like PTSD is definitely one of them. It's like I'd say like antisocial almost. Like he doesn't Stockholm. Yeah, he doesn't hesitate to kill somebody.
Yeah.
All you gotta say is like, we need him dead. All right, and he just goes and gets busy.
You say you gonna give me a chance at what I want for this?
Exactly.
This head right here. Say less.
He
You
started off.
don't need a belt. You don't need a Louis belt.
He started off with the enthusiasm of Naruto and ended with the depression and killing mentality of Sasuke.
Right?
Yes.
It was bad. It was bad.
He
And
went
niggas
to
think
I'm going to
for
be
him.
the.
Oh, go ahead.
I was
I
just
was-
gonna say, and just who's about to go?
No, go JP.
Tell you what, I was trying to be nice, but I was really about to be like, yeah, damn right, I'm going.
That's why I stopped over, man. Go ahead.
But it's just the fact that this, and then if you go into like the time skip, a little bit of a time skip at the end of what happened to season 1, season 2, it's one of the most beautifully written character development arcs. You guys will see it if you read the manga. You know, if you haven't, you'll see it, and it's just beautifully written. And I was like, at first, I was a little annoyed because I was like, "Whoa, y'all gonna switch everything up?" It's like y'all was giving me all this, and now I gotta read more.
Yeah, and it takes quite some time for
Right?
it to get back to. It's not even all the way back to where it's supposed to be, but to get back to where he can have the realism that it's okay to forgive myself. Like
those
that-
dreams that he was having on the.
like again, don't want to spoil all of it, but there is a lot. If you want to see like someone going over grief and just guilt of existence, and I mean legit, just guilt of being alive after
And it-
everything he did, that is a beautiful way to see that.
And then retribution and like forgiveness with some of the characters. If you all the way caught up, you know, it's like you go around doing stuff like that for so long, you gonna run into people that you did dirty.
Violence
And
begets
and
violence.
man,
Exactly.
That-
And
there's
It's
some
just-
perfect like things that happens with him, and even being able to overcome those hurdles of like, yo, I know I did some and I'm sorry for it, but it's just some shit that I did, and I have to be human. And I think Shaq's next person fits the trying to get retribution for what has happened in his life perfectly. And I know for a fact he fits the mold.
Yes.
hey, Justin, what the fuck? 2 of them?
Listen, man. Listen. See what happens when you give me the wheel. See what happens.
It's like give this
But-
nigga an
but-
award.
Wait, just to touch on them same points, yo, bro, really like went full circle. Like, the beauty of it is like the equivalent of when your parent tells you something and you too young to grasp it, and it takes you a decade or two to come to that realization. Because his pops was all about like, hey, this life ain't really meant for people. This shit got told. And he's like, I'm a Viking, nigga. What you talking about? I'm out here. I'm active.
Yeah.
He gets in the mix and he's like, yo, all I feel is hate. And then once that goal is made, he's like, oh damn, hold on. What did I?
Yep.
Like I
What
said,
is
the
there to like?
reflection.
It's been 7 years after.
Listen,
But again, Shaq, you can go ahead and explain to him
My bad.
how deep someone else can be.
yo, so and I get a chance to go, but my first pick as far as like a character who suffers and has to deal with mental health on like a large scale. I think this character has to be like one of the at least top 5, if not top 3, mental health issue characters. Is Guts from Berserk. Because nigga, this character, if you have never seen the story of Berserk, you have never seen one of the in my opinion, one of the darkest mangas, one of the darkest animes that I have ever experienced in my life. Because this character gets through the shit. Like, not just like, oh, I have to avenge my clan because my brother killed. Like, he makes every other death in other character stories seem like bullshit compared to what he had to experience. First off, his mother was a village whore who died when she got hung, so he fell out the womb. It's not, but it's so fucking crazy. And that's the first. It's wildin', and then he becomes a mercenary, not by choice, because a band of mercenaries found him and was like, well, you know what? Instead of killing him, we gonna hold on to him, see if he's useful later on down the road. And then when he becomes useless, the father figure of his life decides to sell him, but Guts kills him before that happens. So,
Street justice. What can you say?
But overall, the character of Guts has to deal with so much like issues on himself. For like one of his first biggest issues was dealing with attachment with folks, and it's because like if I get attached to somebody, it's not going to work out. It's not going to see a happy ending. And then the time he does actually start getting attached, what he was trying to avoid ends up happening on like a larger scale, and it ends up just like tumbling his entire world upside down, which making somebody who's actually was going to be a happy, upbeat person, a gentle giant, if you will, and just fucking throws all of that shit in the trash. Definitely, he is a prime example of like all he knows is war. He's like that one character where it's like, I'm not trying to be the product of my environment, but he ends up being that way in the worst way possible, and all he's trying to do is just finish what another motherfucker started, aka fuck Griffin.
and while we're at it, I just want to make sure I get these comments in. We got a comment from Noah saying, "Depressing ass anime. Koruto lives alone. Yo, Kataro lives alone.
Yes,
Man, you right. You right. Kataro, man. 'Cause, you know, it hurt my heart when I saw the name. It hurt my heart.
Yeah, I thought that was just like a nice slice of life. One of my homies broke down a little bit more information about it. I said, hold up.
Yeah,
I'm looking at so good right now. Hold on. I'm gonna come back to that one, but
bro. So in comparison to Guts, which I want to make sure I highlight, like Guts, if it's so night and day to like hardships. Like to me, Karuto is the like childhood of Guts' life. If Guts' mom just, I can't even explain the hardship. Just because the man lives alone at 7, the man lives. Listen, man. He.
I mean, Naruto did too.
Yeah,
but...
I was like,
no.
And we out here, what was it, like trauma comparing or some shit like that?
Yes.
Like,
That's exactly what's happening right now.
Who had the most fucked up life?
because Guts had the most, and I agree.
There's nothing
Guts
to compare
had,
against Philly.
yeah, Guts had the by far. But this little kid, oh my God! Every episode, you were just like, "Come on, man! Come on, man! You ain't got to do that." Like he's 4. He's 4. I'm sorry, Luna. Thank you for bringing that up. Kotaru is 4.
I want to watch
My
this just to be
daughter's
sad.
age. My
I want to
daughter's
watch it
age.
be sad. I want to feel
My
something.
daughter's age. Yes.
Justin, I think it hits you more because you have a child.
Yes, it does. It does. I can admit, as a dad,
Probably. He's
as a
like,
dad,
I could
yeah.
never. I could never. He out
could
here
never
watching
be a
tears-
deadbeat.
Tears rolling down his eyes.
I
He's like,
couldn't
I
leave
would
my
never.
child in these conditions, nigga.
Yo,
He's
like,
gonna burst right into her room, kick the door open, walk over, lift her up, hug her, swing her around. He's like, what you want to do?
Never have to be alone. You hear me? Right here, right now. This
Yo,
pact.
nigga.
He finished the whole season, walk to his daughter's room.
got you.
Like, hey, nigga, know that I got you. I ain't never gonna leave. Goddamn it! All right, go to bed.
Meanwhile, looking up, what the fuck going on right now?
Yeah.
Daddy,
Oh,
drop
yeah.
mama. Just a little bit, baby. Just a
Just a
little
little bit. Just a little bit. Just but
He love you. His heart in the right place.
because I really
it's
think
hitting them really hard. It's from the cookie. It's all right. It's all right.
yo, because even when and again, I don't know if this is much of a spoiler because it's been out for over a decade, but when Guts grows and he's able to move forward even a little bit, and he gets a chance to where like he finally got his girl in the right state of mind, everything's going good. Something happens again. Something happens again where it's just like, my nigga,
Naruto thought he knew pain. That nigga don't know true pain.
he don't know true pain.
Nagato don't know true pain.
He don't know. Like,
Yo, I'll never forget watching the movies and that scene where
Yes.
he's literally watching the love of his life getting violated, and that's where we're gonna end it. Because
All I know is
all his friends.
All I know is I don't trust niggas around a solar eclipse. That's all I know.
yeah, nah. Any type of solar flare, you got a bald head with 6 rings. Just this is over.
If the nigga talking about he trying to do a party during a solar eclipse, I'm not going.
Nah. Any eclipse parties, we not going. Like, we
But
just
shoot,
know.
even if like on that same note, so you talk about Griffith and like his like mental illness. That nigga's fucked in the head. Like that.
I mean,
not to be like that. He reminds me of like poor people who like know only like scamming like type shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I kind of want to have feelings for you, but I got goals, and I've seen like niggas tear each other apart. So
I
in
think
that
he's the
respect-
ultimate narcissist.
Straight
Like,
up.
by any means necessary for me. And I mean for me. Not I don't care who, as long as my goals are being met and you are fulfilling my need, we can talk.
People like that
I
are
ain't
scary.
gonna hold you.
Wow.
It's one person I put above him. My nigga Dio.
I was thinking that.
I ain't gonna hold you.
It was
Nobody
me.
more toxic than Dio. Ain't nobody more toxic than Dio.
Dio, first week, not even a whole month
The
being
dog.
in JoJo's family. He put that dog in the furnace and said, "Fuck your dog, nigga. I'll run shit here."
That
He
nigga
said,
crazy.
You love this motherfucker? Alright. You got nice things? Alright. I got something for you.
Oh, you
Gonna know
love
to
your
spare
girl?
around.
I bet.
Gave him the Tagogi real quick.
Hey,
I'm gonna take your body and go ahead and procreate off this motherfucker real quick.
I'm creating
Bruh.
demons in this bitch.
this nigga Dio would be like on Dave Chappelle's haters ball, like biggest hater. Nigga would win.
He'd be getting
every
a trophy.
fucking
He'd be
year.
getting a trophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hater of the year goes to Dio motherfucking Zawudo Brando. Nigga.
How about
Killed
you?
this nigga dog because he loved it.
That boy said, You got a nice family? Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it.
Hey,
Hold my
dead
beer.
ass
Hold my
Dio.
beer.
Zio is a drug dealer from Belly.
Yes.
I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit.
Listen,
Who taught you love, nigga? I'll let that shit fly around these parts.
We have a comment. I want to personally address this from Luna on YouTube. Oh, you finally watched JoJo, JP? No, that shit sucks. I watched like the first 10 episodes, but I did laugh. I tried to give it a chance, as I just couldn't get into it. But I know enough about Dio and like reading shit that I'm like, this nigga is evil.
you probably enjoy the manga more than the anime then.
And I actually,
I ain't gonna give it a chance.
Let me ask this question: do you fuck with Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z?
yeah, that's where we stop. Yeah, no, that's the starting point, right?
Yeah.
It's I put it on the same level in the sense that Toriyama, his goal is entertainment. It's not to give you like a critically acclaimed like piece of work. Not that like the artwork's amazing, the musical score, the character designs, but it's really just there to keep like to entertain you for what it is at the moment.
Okay.
How about you, Devious? Do you think there's anybody in DBZ that really shows like the mental health breakage? I know there's one person that comes to mind immediately. And I mean, I can say Vegeta, but I don't know if that's
Fuck
like
that nigga. He goes through his own redemption, his own mental illness. Fuck that.
Damn.
Nigga, Gohan.
I was gonna say
He's a full fucking circle. That nigga literally goes from I'm the child of someone who loves to fight. I'm gonna watch my dad set me up for failure, thinking that I'm the chosen one. I'm gonna get my ass folded by motherfuckers like Broly, Cell, Boo. And you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I want to go to school.
Hey.
I'm like,
Listen,
y'all niggas are dope.
You're the chosen one. Fuck that.
Listen,
I'm 13.
I'm one of the few people where I was like, you know what? I don't blame him from going back to school because it was the ass whooping from the grown ass nigga Nappa for me. It was the goddamn neck break and spine break from the nigga Raccoon for me. Fuck that shit. If that was me by the age of 7, I get my ass whooped by those fucking 7 or 8 foot niggas. I wouldn't want to fight either.
And your dad consent to all this. This nigga like, all right, you be all right. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Time
The closer
out.
we get to death,
This man watched his dad die when he was like, what was he, 4?
4? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, to have seen that, you have to go to a whole different planet to see him come back. Then, only then, to have to lead this man because your uncle decided to want to be something that he wasn't, and you get to see one of his best friends die in the process.
Nigga, he got that nigga Frieza just ripped fucking Krillin like he was some funfetti or some shit. Just said,
And you just was
goodbye.
like literally with him, trying to survive. You was just with him for at least good 30 episodes, him and Bulma trying to survive. Like,
your teacher is your dad, one of your dad's former ops.
yo,
right?
It's like, hey nigga, I know we had some differences in the past, but I need you to teach this little nigga how to fight while I'm dead. You know what I'm saying?
yo.
I'll be back.
I know you like him, you don't fuck with me, but it's whatever. Do it for him.
Like, come on, man.
It's like, nigga, you just put to my planet. Like, I wasn't even fucking with you.
It's like, nigga, I ain't forget you flew through my fucking stomach.
Well, technically his dad.
I know it's his dad, but he's him because of like
Yeah.
that was some very what was it? Some asexual reproduction. Like the nigga just threw up himself, and then that's why I said that.
It's like me shooting you and then coming back not even like a month later. Hey yo, I'm finna self-sacrifice real quick. You gonna watch my kid for me? You gonna raise him like your own? Nigga, I don't even know you.
Right? He's like, you from the colonizer race.
Right.
It's like, why should I fuck you and your kid?
Just like that shit from Dave Chappelle. Hey, get your motherfucking hands away from my face, Dave. Fuck with
But
And that actually helps me with my next person, which is going to be Shoya Ishida. I don't know if y'all know from A Silent Voice. I don't I don't know if y'all
Sir,
watched the movie,
talk your
but
shit. Go up.
man, this person, when I mean, and this kind of goes with the redemption stuff, but he was someone who we thought all his goals were for someone else, but in all actuality, it was just him trying to gain self confidence to forgive himself. That's another person that was like, yo, like, I just need to forgive myself and stop isolating myself because of what I did as a kid, not understanding the damage that it would do. Like,
Emotional.
man,
Like,
man, you talking about mental health? Like
I'm talking
that
about
movie was intense.
from all sides. Like
Yes.
Shoyo, I promise you, like that scene where like literally he's just seeing everybody as exes and he's just like, I am not worthy of anybody's love, attention, or time. I'm a burden on everybody. I shouldn't be here to like, okay, maybe I do belong. Maybe I do have a purpose. And that shit hurt my heart because I was like, yo, like like you said, like as a kid, you're gonna do some shit not fully grasping the implications. But as you become an adult, you have to like there is no rewind because that shit fucked with her and it fucked with him. And
And
like
it showed that inside of any human experience that you have, there is a chance for growth. And it's not just a matter of I make a mistake, there is no coming back from said mistake. But no, you can make a mistake, understand that you made a mistake, and move forward in looking for forgiveness or understanding of what you've done to said person. And I think that is a beautiful, beautiful. If anybody get a chance, it's again called The Silent Voice. You can watch it on Netflix. Um, and actually, do you have anything on Urban Sama that might be able to tie into this?
for a solid voice, I think we actually may have like an older blog post referencing the silent voice because it is one of those like must watch anime movies. In my opinion, it's I don't have anything bad to say about it. Like I said, musical score, art, storyline. For a series with no abilities, you be you be crazy not to watch because I think that's something that everyone can identify with. Because even like so, you see like the difference between Shoyo and his counterparts, where
Mm-hmm.
he's stuck in the past, but his counterparts are kind of like, "Hey, we did what we did. We moving forward." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't no big deal. So to see him grow from like an emotionally disconnected person to a very emotionally observant person, where he's willing to break his old friendships for what he understands is right
Mm-hmm.
versus wrong. It
Yeah.
is it's amazing. So
And
I'm
I
very happy
know
you brought that up because that was on my list. I was like, yeah,
and I know again I just want to make sure that if you do have anything that you feel when it comes to mental health, if you need to just have these types of conversation, feel free to make sure you check out the website that's below us. I want to make sure I highlight that. That is mhanational.org. mhanational.org. Um, and also, this is a good pausing point for you, Devious, to just talk your shit, so to speak. I want to make sure you get your chance to give off your website, what it actually entails. I know we kind of chimed on it a little bit with about a silent voice, but explain to me what if I go to this website, what am I looking for?
absolutely. So for those who don't know, I'm Devious Summer, Early Summer, and essentially what we're working on curating is an experience like no other, where we have a black hub of geekdom, where essentially this is in essence a highway where not only do we create content, but we also want to connect you with others who create content to make the world a little less lonely, if that's to make sense. Because I know everybody has a story of not necessarily having being surrounded around like-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
and the goal is to create or guide you to the people who create content that resonates with you. So we do like blog posts, we do showdowns, we do lives, and much more. Like we just had an event locally maybe like a month back, where we got together and we all just rented a private theater and watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that's dope.
Like edibles,
And what is considered local?
Atlanta, I'm sorry. So yeah, we're based out of Atlanta, but a lot of our members are stretched across the globe. Well, the states right now, but we're gonna get to the globe, so that's pretty much what's up with us.
And if I were to I know, for example, for us, Red Cup Fridays is something that one Spicy Ramen do with Shaq. That's one of the things that we know we can always go to for if you wanted to just get some dope content. What is that dope thing, or every Friday, every Thursday that y'all do that's just something for the people to look out for?
So we've been slow up with the content a little bit, just kind of like reprioritizing, recently changed up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Given that attention, but I know a real fun one, and Shaq might be able to chime in, is like our anime showdowns, where we essentially, like, at first it was kind of like a who's stronger type thing, but quickly I realized it's kind of like it's not a boring conversation, but there's a place for that, power scalers, whatnot. So instead, what we do is just take categories, discussion topics, and pit two characters against each other. So we might do something like who's the better fire user, or who's the worst dad in anime, or something like who's the flyest, and essentially create that conversation while spreading awareness about different series that you may or may not seen, or create dialogues that you may or may not have been able to have with other people about said characters in said topic. So
No, I think that's always dope. So again, make sure y'all check out the website at the bottom for those who are listening. It is urbansalmon.com. Again, I want to make sure that y'all have a chance to get into one of the showdowns or anything that you may see on the page. There's a lot of events, things that you obviously just heard. If you in Atlanta, especially, make sure you go and check them out. Actually, Shaq, I got a question for you that might even tie this in. For your next character, if they were to be in a showdown, who would you pair them against?
As far as like mental health, like who's worse off?
Yeah, no. So Shaq obviously has another mental health character. I'm saying in his reveal of a character, who do you think would be a good versus for them?
Ooh, I like that.
So I'm going to ignore that question and just continue on my. And continue on with my next pick.
See. All right, go ahead.
I see the effort, J Love. You know what I'm saying?
See, just gotta have a hater somewhere, huh? Gotta.
It's the Red Cup Demon, my boy.
Yeah, just got to.
It's a 50-50 chance.
The baddest motherfucker you ever seen. But my next one, definitely I know more so like into the family and military side of it. The Elric brothers from Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because it gets, like I said, those are characters that go into the family-oriented / military mental health issues that go on and stuff like that. And then there's other characters with the Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood that go into that subject as well. But I know for them, it starts off with being like this family acceptance is because like their father was known as a great alchemist. So in return, they did alchemy in order to continue to get their mother's acceptance, which they in turn believed that would get their father's acceptance and he would come back. Because I was one of those like, daddy's gone. So if I was a good alchemist, he'd come back. Like, I can fuck with a kid's head. And then once their mother left, that becomes the whole thing where it's like, alchemy is the only way to solve this problem, because a lot of their times as young kids, a lot of problems were able to be solved through alchemy. So they figure like, okay, let me solve this issue with our mother through alchemy, which we all know did not go so well.
Indeed.
And I think the biggest thing for them was, and maybe that's all animes, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like every MC that we have brought up has some form of self-forgiveness that they have to go through.
Indeed.
like you have to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Like it's just, and once they do that, they're able to progress as a character.
Because you got to
Yeah.
think like these are kids joining the military in search of some miracle cure to
Yeah.
save their mother from something that's supposed to be like irreversible. So it's just like you see them going through shady situations, but they're kind of like, hey, this is our goal. We kind of have to, until they run into people like Scar who kind of enlighten them, like, hey, this is the world you participating in right now, boy.
Right, you in the streets now, nigga.
Yeah.
Niggas die every day, B.
Dead ass.
We got the comment from Tank. Them Elrics go through some shit. Yes, they
Yo,
do. Yes,
Hey.
they do.
Like,
Hey, the dog, Mina.
Yeah. Listen, man.
That's
Oh,
it.
Jesus
That-
Christ, not Nina.
That Mina, whatever. Yeah, Nina. I think it was Nina. That was.
You talking about a
brutal.
dad having an issue?
Oh,
Yeah.
You think I had an issue before with Karuta? Oh no, Kataru. Oh no. That.
No, we mentioned her.
yeah.
listen, Shao Tucker still to this day, in my opinion, is still worst dad in anime history.
Irredeemable.
Oh yeah, without question.
I always think, like, in going back to the topic about like the self-forgiveness, I think that is something that's important because you see a lot of people that they can't forgive themselves. They can't say that, like, they can't have that inner dialogue with themselves saying, it's like, bro, it's okay to make mistakes. It's like, you fucked up. It's like, it ain't the end of the world. Relax. So with like what Devious was saying, it's like there's, oh, no, you're saying little boys joining the military, but I was gonna say it's like shonen is aimed towards like little kids and supposed to teach them like life lessons, but in an entertaining way. Obviously, a lot of adults watch it too, and like seinen anime kind of does that, but not as much. But it's like those are good qualities to have because you see like anime characters, it's like they're working towards a goal, and then also it's like the internal development during the process. And a lot of people can't seem to like regulate their emotions or get through shit. And in anime, it shows that it's like, no, these things are possible. I'm just gonna have to work my ass off to get it. Which is personally why I love anime so much, because it's like no matter what someone's going through, it's like you can make something out of yourself or the situation turn into a positive if you don't stop, even on the days that you don't feel like it. So that's why I always love anime. It really shows the mental and internal struggle and surpassing or overcoming whatever it is. It's like no matter how dim the situation looks.
And again, I think even with some of the animes that we bring up, you're able to see it. I think, and even speaking of shonen and how they're able to portray it, I think One Piece. I know we highlighted it, but there's a lot of examples of that in One Piece, where it's, I mean, obviously Marineford is one of the highlighted moments of like trying to combat mental health. But Devin, if you were to point at someone where it'd be like, yo, if y'all want a example of perseverance and having that undoubted, like, I'm gonna get through this, who do you think as a anime character it would be?
Wait, me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you said Devin. I was like, hold
Oh,
on.
DV. Oh, I'm
Nah,
sorry.
nah, you good, you good.
See?
Oh, this nigga can't read. Let's keep going.
Nah, we good. I was just making sure because I was like, wait, somebody else in here named Devin for real? But perseverance in like spite of their
Yeah, in spite of their hardships, like somebody that was like, yo, I'm gonna still fight through this. I'm gonna get through it regardless.
I don't know if I'm gonna catch flack for this one, but I'm gonna go with, as far as like most recently, I'm gonna go with Midoriya. He's a big one because he suffered. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. A lot of these characters get ragged on, and the commonality I'm getting is that people aren't comfortable with their own like imperfections. Because Deku, as a character, very human. Very, very human. I'm talking about someone who's gone from a lacking place of power to getting power to not knowing how to properly use that power and dealing with social anxiety, self-doubt, periods of depression, but still hanging on to this is my dream. This is what I want to do for others, even if I'm not always able to do it for myself. He's a prime one for me.
And I think
I was thinking the same thing, honestly. He was one of them, so I'm gonna have another one after.
I think.
My bad.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I think literally the first episode is just a definition of who he is. Like, to be persecuted by someone, yet still willing to risk your life to save them because of the values that you have, is.
First episode, Bakugo said, "Go kill yourself, bro."
Yeah,
But there's even an issue with that because if that's a mental illness in itself.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, he's willing. His self-worth is so low that he defines his self-worth by who he can help, whether or not they're toxic for him. And like that moment where him and Bakugo, and he's like, "Yo, I ain't gonna just sit here and let you do whatever you want to do. Like, I understand you got your own shit, but this is the path I'ma walk, and I'm not gonna let you define me. Nigga, I define myself." That was a moment where I was like, okay, he's growing, because before it was kind of just what's the word? People pleasing.
Yeah. The yes man.
Anybody say something, he's like, yes, I'm on. Why? Because he feels like he gets value from that. He gets his worth from it. So it's just like that's a big one. Midoriya go crazy. I think he deserves his flowers plus some, and the writers as well.
He does.
And I think because there's so many scenarios in My Hero that are clear examples of either self-hatred or just wanting to fill a void that they can never fill in themselves. I think our current number one hero, they showed that in the most recent season.
Oh my gosh, the most recent chapter 2. Did you read that?
Yeah. I don't want to go to the manga. The manga definitely just you shooting out your eyes to try to just by any means. But again, I feel that if there is any example of just needing to have that self-validation, he is that. He is like, yo, look, I know I'm wrong, but I know I had to write my heart in place. And I'm going to prove it by my actions, not by what I say, but what I do day in and day out, because this is my mission.
Bro. Deku, I have made fun of him for crying, but I make fun of people for doing anything. It's like, I'll make fun of you for doing something that I do myself. It's like, that's just how I am. It's like, I'm gonna talk shit, but it's like, bro, Deku is that nigga. He's that crybaby nigga. He that type of dude where it's like, you can call him soft, and he is like somewhat soft, I guess you could say, whatever. And it's like, that ain't gonna beat your ass. It's like, go ahead, fuck with one of his friends. It's like, he gonna beat your ass.
I'm gonna fold you like an omelet. Yeah.
Come on. You can be his friend. You can be his friend. He'd be like, yo, look, is this your final answer? Before I put you to sleep, is this your final answer?
He's
Before
like,
me.
You've been disrespecting me for a little bit, and it's starting to get a little too much.
I'm a pacifist by heart, but don't make me goddamn pull this one for all out my ass on you.
And like you said, like, you better scramble like, hey, before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
But I like him because he has the self-awareness to even be like, yo, I shouldn't be doing this, but realistic enough that it's not an immediate change. And I like those shows the best because when you see like animes where they just switch them
or just change colors,
it don't feel organic because it's like, that's not how people are. You ain't gonna get it right the first time, even if you realize what you're doing.
Yeah,
He's
That's
good for
true.
that. He's good for
True.
that's
and he has that impact on everyone around him as well.
Yeah.
You see, it's
That's-
infectious.
Yeah, especially with the manga. Always
Jay-
going back to the manga. Always got to go back to the manga because it's like
I'm
it's the source material.
gonna catch
And-
him at some point.
Again, you know, I know that a lot of people don't watch the manga, or read the manga.
I'm about to say watch.
But
I
I
was like,
do-
watch it.
You mean read,
My nigga thought it was like some flip panel
Well,
shit. It's like just
because
some stop
there is
motion.
people, i.e., my daughter, who decides to watch the colored pictures, and she likes to try to keep up with the colored images. But you know, it's cool. I think JP, you're up next for trying to tie in a character by their mental health.
Like, what do you mean? Like tying a character by their mental?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, some person like Adeku or the people that we talked about before, that you can see it not only in what they talk about, but their actions.
Hold on. I just had it.
Because there's one from Black Clover that does poison that I think
Oh, that
is
dude?
like, he's a perfect fit for it. But again, you got to give yours.
I know. Yeah.
It's not your turn, nigga.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I actually think that this is just a funny one. Do you want a funny one or a serious one?
No, yeah, you can give you whatever.
Yeah,
All right. Funny character with some mental health issues definitely would be. Well, I keep forgetting the name. Like I'm saying it. Oh, Kid from that kid.
Yeah,
That's the kid from Soul Eater.
Yeah.
I was
Like-
kind of hurt on how they played that a little bit. They underplayed it. Like you said, it's humorous, but it's like.
And you know what? Because that's humorous. So Kid is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and this dude will be mid fight. Oh, this isn't perfect. Oh, like everything has to be perfect. It has to be done right. Finishing move got to be done right. All
For
that.
him specifically, it's symmetry. Like
Symmetry,
everything has to
yeah.
be symmetrical. Like symmetry is like his itch. Like if it's not symmetrical, it doesn't make sense.
And if you want to, same artist, I don't remember the name of the artist, but for Fire Force, a character, Arthur Doyle,
Oh yeah.
he's got some serious mental health issues.
Arthur.
Dissociative disorder out of yin yang. That boy done created a whole goddamn.
Bruh, everyone's in Fire Force. He's in a whole nother multiverse. Like he's not even in that same show.
But
Like this man is so out of touch with reality that I'm not. This is a spoiler, but you don't understand. He didn't actually realize that he was abandoned. Like you can't hurt this man because he's just gonna come up with some other shit anyway. Like nothing you say, this nigga is unbothered and living in another dimension at all times. That nigga, the weed that he's smoking would be crazy. I got that Doyle pack.
super duper pressure.
I got that Doyle
24
pack. What
karat
up?
gold pack.
I'm smoking on that Arthur Doyle, nigga.
Like
Next stop, Camelot, nigga. Nigga, I have found Excalibur. Nigga, that's a pen. It's Excalibur. What you mean?
But yeah, as far as like that the kid goes, that shit's trippy because like looking at it as a kid is funny, but now it's kind of like, yo, I feel that because like there's certain situations that occur in which if it's not done in a certain order, I kind of respond differently too. And I'm like, yo, he literally was living that, like you said, in the middle of fights. Like, not only that, but himself was unsymmetrical. And there was a constant, like,
inner
bother.
conflict.
Yeah, because he's like, yo, I will never be at what I want to achieve because of the way I'm born. And it's, that's a good one. I appreciate you for it. Yeah. And Arthur too, because I'm like,
Oh, we got a
Bro.
comment. Hold on, let me bring up the comment.
And she
Reiner?
brought up my next one.
Oh
That's actually,
shit!
yes.
Oh,
So
so
we're gonna
Shaq, take it
segue
off. Take it
into
off. You
Shaq.
got
Go
it.
ahead, yeah. Pop us off.
Yep. So in response to our comment from YouTube talking about Reiner Braun from Attack on Titan. Now this character definitely embodies the mental health from a military standpoint because of how the story is set up for his for his character development and how he was coming from, I can't remember the name of the country now, but coming from that
Marley.
from the country of Marley, thank you, and having to be this child soldier and being into this mentality of like, in order for, and even for his storyline, in order for me to be accepted by my countrymen and my father, I have to go through this bullshit. And then once he was in the shit, that's when like his mind started kind of like going like, what is my actual purpose now? And then going into the later season of season 4, it gets to more so just like, I think I've done what I can do. There's no point to this shit anymore. Because there was a couple of moments where like he was like, I'm just gonna have to fucking end this shit my damn self. Going into the whole where like so much conflict and battle you have to go through where it's like, yo, I'm tired of this shit at this point. And it just goes through like the one episode where he puts the whole barrel of an assault rifle to his face. And that definitely hits on a couple of points on a larger scale with fellow members of the armed forces where it's like you go through so much shit and it's just like, I don't want to keep going through this cycle anymore. I'm done. And the only way you think you can process in your mind that you can be done by just ending your life, and understand people that is not the answer. Definitely not the answer. Make sure you get some help. Make sure you talk to somebody. But like the way they described that in Attack on Titan was like, granted, if you're somebody else that's like non-military watching it, that's one thing. But like seeing it from somebody who's been in service or someone who's currently in service, like that, it just clicks in a different way. That's just like, yo, you can be going through so much, and it's like, yo, I'm tired, but you can't say you're tired at the same time.
Yeah, I
And, like,
remember there was a lot of times in basic. I know this is a very small version of this, but they by your barracks or by the rooms you stayed in, you had platoon leaders, and these leaders had to be the one to maintain every single soldier that was inside of that barrack. Obviously, we had people of leadership that followed, called NCOs and officers, but during that time when you had to call like the formation, you were the leader of your group. And I know, for example of myself, I had one person who, for lack of the better word, was not mentally fit to be able to maintain just the simple corrective instructions we were getting on a daily basis to get fit.
yeah.
And it got to a point where he would find any vice, rather it be huffing paint or anything, to try to disassociate himself from the decision that he made of becoming a soldier. And to me, Reiner is a great example of that in the anime aspect, because you find yourself in this fight or in this death cycle that you did not know that you were going to have to really be a part of, definitely, to find out that you were one of the key pieces of it. And again, I know that in his situation, it was just, boot camp or training, but I can only imagine having to be in the thick of it and having to have those thoughts.
Because these people his age, that's the
Yes.
thing. Like he had to tear his whole like psyche apart just to, one, like build genuine quote unquote relationships, and then two, fulfill the mission.
Mhm.
I can't even understand on that level because I haven't participated in the military. So it's just like,
I mean, just imagine, like, high school is a great example of it. Having to go through high school with your high school classmates, and you build a rapport that some you for the rest of your life are your friends because of the things that you did in high school. And imagine, like, 3 years after you get out of high school, you find out that person hated you. It was there to purposely kill you. Like,
I'll take it a step further. Say like it's your teammate on the football team. You don't play the full season with them. You get to the championship game and you find out they actually are a player for the other team.
Yeah, it's a great example. Yeah,
and his purpose was to make sure you got to a certain point where they can wipe your ass out.
That's some diabolical shit.
Diabolical as fuck.
But that's exactly
the
what
type
they
of
were.
long con planning that they be doing in anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
It's like, bro, you really went through all this shit over 20 years, my nigga. Like, you waited 20 years. Madara, how, like,
man.
my nigga,
Oh,
bro,
Madara,
really?
That's a salty nigga right there. It said, I'm tired of taking L's from you sensu ass nigga.
Right?
I'm gonna come back. All y'all long gone and dead. I'm gonna exact my revenge.
This nigga
I'm gonna be back from back from the dead.
I stayed alive on a tree, nigga. I was a fruit.
Yo, he is the definition of isolation and despair. Like, he was just like, yo, like, desolate world.
Like, how did he even get? I don't even get how he got Obito. Like, honestly, there's a spoiler, but if you ain't finished Naruto by this time, I don't give a fuck.
It's been 10 years. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't give a shit.
Sorry,
it is what it is, bro. But like, this nigga ain't leave his little lair except for to get a nigga to carry out his hateful plan. You know how hateful of a nigga you gotta be to be like, hey, I need to infect another nigga with this hate.
Specifically another Uchiha.
Yeah, all up in his ear, like, hey, yeah, that shit he did to you fucked up, ain't it? Yeah, that village ain't no good. Let me tell you, brother, I've been here for a minute. This shit ain't nothing new. This shit recurring. There's only one way we can stop this shit. Gotta kill everybody. Everybody. Well, we gotta put them all in a dream. Everybody? Yes, everybody.
That kind of leads me.
These Senju niggas, they keep fucking shit up. That nigga more racist than Toby Rama.
Nah, for real.
Right, on some real shit.
Up there.
And that kind of like brings me into what I feel like is going to be the ending of this character. And this is me trying to put a premonition out there. But for me, a great example of like true despair, and I don't know when they're going to actually highlight it, but All for One is a great example of true self-hate. Like, he, to me, and again, I know that they haven't really highlighted it because of how like they displayed him, but he hates powers so much he's using it to create an army to destroy everyone with powers. Like,
he's a prime example of what having too much and, like you said, like being isolated is, because there's no, like, who understands abilities better than him? I can literally touch everything you got. Like, yeah. I can see I can feel what you, because not only does he take on the quirk, but he amplifies it. So imagine like taking, like, it's like being a super duper empath.
Yeah.
You taking on the ability and the pros and cons of it, and you're amplifying it. So like, you see what madness it is, but
yeah, and again,
All for One is doing what Lil Wayne was doing with niggas' beats.
AKA Drake too. Like, pulling a full Kakashi. I like that. I like that part.
I'm gonna take your shit. I'm gonna make it better.
I like that beat. I'm gonna take that.
let me mix that up a little bit. I'm gonna remix you.
One dance. And I think for me, and this kind of goes into a wrap up too, and we want to make sure we get any of the names out that y'all want to make sure to say.
Too. We gotta get
Yep. But actually, yeah, this is perfect. So we got a comment here from Ella. Also celebrating. Congrats. I want to make sure I give that out there.
Fiance,
Congrats.
Round of applause, if you will.
I know we kind of tapped on Killua, but I really feel like
my nigga was good.
Like
In
you
rhythm.
listen to that new Drake, bro?
Which one? Because some of them songs, you know, them lyrics. But I think, and I know JP, you actually hit on it, but even as an assassin, there was moments where he couldn't mentally control himself just because his brother said something to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Try me again, nigga. I'll beat that.
Like, would that be a little bit of Stockholm
Yes.
syndrome?
Yeah, definitely.
And then
Yes.
Definitely.
PTSD.
yeah, planning mechanisms
Yeah.
just for it.
Yeah, specifically,
Trigger words.
you literally set up you and a family of people who care less about your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
2, you expected to take on this legacy.
Yep.
And
Mandatory.
and 3, nigga, I just want friends.
Right?
It's like,
One.
I ain't even here for all this shit. Like, yes, you taught me how to kill somebody, but can you teach me how to properly love somebody? Nah, we ain't here for that.
I'm 12, nigga. It's
He had
I'm
to
still
have a-
riding a skateboard around and all this shit. It's like
He had to have a friend teach him, like a literal, like a fellow 12-year-old teaches ass, like, hey, this is what it means to care about somebody.
And
a
it's
psychotic 12-year-old too.
Yeah, an abandoned psychotic 12-year-old. Like, yo, yeah, I hung out
Let's
with
talk.
my cousin
We could have
that grew up.
talked about Gone the whole episode.
The whole
Yeah.
episode, because like that shit's crazy how Kahlua evolved, but Gon devolved. So like they were never in the same place at the same time. They was always kind of like this.
Opposite
Yeah.
spectrums.
So true. And they showed it from the beginning how Gone really was. It's like, bro, you are insane. Like, you a psychopath.
Yeah.
Low key.
When he was ready to murk one dude, he was like, show
Yo.
me everything you got. Okay.
You know it's bad when your social skills and your social limiter of when you should kill or not kill is the opinion of an assassin. He's like, you are my shutoff. If you do not say
you kinda
this,
stepping outside the lines. But it's ridiculous because people be like, you know, Gon's the innocent one. No, Gon since day one has had like a chip on him because he's like, I don't really care about what's good or bad. I care about what my goal is.
Yep.
And whatever it takes to get to that goal.
He
To a lesser
Clock
equal
in.
degree. Clock in before I tweak out.
Gon honestly is like an evil Luffy, where it's like Luffy really like he just Luffy wants what he wants, but he's a good person at heart, and he knows it's like there's certain ways you don't treat people a certain way. Like if you feed Luffy, bro, this nigga will go to war for you,
Right.
just for that. And it's like he's always thinking about other people, but his main goal comes first. So it's like it always happens like, oh, these my friends. Oh, y'all going through this? All right, whatever. But this is gonna lead me to the One Piece, whatever it is. So he always has his goal in mind. Which there should be a theory on that because I've been seeing some stuff. But anyway, it's like Gon is the same way. He has his goal, but he gonna kill anybody who gets in his way of it.
Gon is definitely a result of having a lacking father figure in his life. Like,
Facts.
yeah.
where it's just like, yo, ain't nobody here to tell me I'm bugging out. So
Right.
my mom ain't even. Well, nah, it wasn't even his mom, was it? It was just like
No, it's cousin.
it was his mom.
Aunt.
Yeah.
Aunt.
So like, not even my aunt's telling me I'm bugging out. Like, nigga, I'm strong as hell. Like I do. He was literally like one of them badass kids. Like I do what I want.
He was an adult Bam Bam. He was an adult Bam Bam.
Right?
Like lamp lights
And he
on. I
was
don't give a
molested.
fuck.
I just
You
want to
forget he
do
was
hood rat
molested.
shit with
Yeah,
my
he
friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he,
I smoke with cigarettes. I steal cars.
Now,
This lamp lights on. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get inside. I'm out
is there
here.
any quick hitters y'all want to make sure y'all hit before we get to the wrap up piece?
Shout out to all my fishmen from One Piece. They went through oppression. Fuck the Celestial Dragons.
Yes.
And-
Amen.
wasn't it the people on Sky Island too? They went through some shit.
Yo,
Yeah.
shout out to my nigga Jinbei.
Shout out
In
to the people on
Thailand,
Arlong Park.
and Whole Cake.
Yeah.
All of these people just Whole Cake.
Okay, horrible.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Wano, them niggas going through
Bruh.
everything.
Shout out
Every
my nigga-
island.
Shout out my nigga Sanji and his family. Well,
Mhm.
Sanji specifically, but like, what about him and his family?
Oh, character, it was on the hardest working. I would say Mike Guy. It was, and then just like, you know, the mental health that you have to go through with being around all these great ninja, and you can't use shit. And then you fast forward, and it's like when Kakashi's father said, "Hey, he's gonna be your greatest rival, and he probably gonna surpass you." And then fast forward to this nigga holding down the fort, and it's like the strongest being is like, I ain't never seen someone be this strong. I kind of want to see it. Then he sees it. He's like, oh shit, I'm about to get fucked up.
Almost died. Like,
I am about to get murked.
That nigga said, hold up, I only seen one other nigga do this.
It's like you playing the game against somebody, you go from this to this, like, oh shit, that nigga playing, hold up.
And
All
Mike
off
Guy is that
inferiority
nigga.
complex.
Yep.
Yep.
One for me would be Akito and Agito from Air Gear.
Ooh, fucking Air Gear, let's
Well,
go.
That's where like I got an honorable mention them because that's a big case of like, yo, what I'm dealing with so fucked up that I'm literally not only disassociating myself, but creating two versions of myself to back the other up when one isn't, you know. And that was a big one for me because he literally like had a soft side, which showed that he wanted to be kind, but then he had the other side that kind of was dominating in order to protect the what someone would consider like weaker side, because it was just like, yo, this shit out here rough.
The definition of split personality disorder.
Yeah. Switch that iPad, just game over.
Yep. Well, as we wrap up, I want to make sure we have our moment to bring up urbansama.com again. Again, that is urbansama.com. Devious, please give your rundown again of just what they have to look for on the website, what they have to expect, and any events that you have coming up.
All the links is in the bio of this episode on YouTube.
Hey. But yeah, once again, Devious Sama with Urban Sama. Essentially, follow Urban Sama if you fuck with dope, black, curated shit. Yeah, talking about basically local events, you know, blog posts, social media, content creation, all that good stuff. We just out here trying to connect with everybody and enjoy ourselves and essentially change the narrative of what it is to be black and what it kind of means to be a geek and how they not really so different.
All right. And of course, again, I just want to say I thank y'all and appreciate everyone who is consistently in the comment section, giving us love, giving us feedback, thoughts, concerns, any of it, all of it. We want to hear it. We love it. We appreciate you and we value your opinion as always. I just want to make sure that y'all get a chance to go to Spice Rum and get our merch and our information too. Please make sure y'all reach out if y'all want to get any details to that on Teespring. And of course, like always, if you want to hit us up, make sure you jump into our IG group chat, Discord, or any other places that we have. You can check out all of our stuff right there at the bottom. And as always, keep it spicy. All right, y'all. Peace.